COVID-19 millionaires. Health Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kagwe is appearing before the Parliamentary Committee on Health to explain the expenditure around the pandemic. Let's listen in.
For you to take responsibility on what is happening in the ministry.
Very well. Madam Chair, can I separate two things for the benefit of my brother Kutuni, Mheshimiwa Kutuni? Let us separate the issue of responsibility and taking responsibility for the Ministry of Health, which I do very gladly, especially because I know the work that is going on there. I know the very able doctors and health workers who are on the front line of saving Kenyans today. And I'm so proud to be the person who is actually heading that team that is saving Kenyans, which is the ultimate real work that is going on in that ministry. So that is number one. It's a question of responsibility and is a question of the constitutional mandate to audit. The constitutional mandate to audit any document, expenditure of money in this country is purely on two institutions: continuous audit by persons either seconded to the ministries, as in ours. For example, let me give you a very good example. Part of the process of getting where we got at KEMSA is an internal audit by ourselves, sending our own auditors to KEMSA. That's called responsibility. And we take it very gladly, and we are doing it. And that's why you see the kind of things that are happening in there. So that is number one. And then there is the issue of the actual technical implementation of an activity and a responsibility. The technical aspect of auditing and arriving at a report for Parliament, at a report for the Senate, is effectively the Auditor General. And you cannot steal the responsibility of the Auditor General under the guise of responsibility in other works in the ministry. So I hope it is clear. I am not escaping at all from responsibility in the ministry. I take it. I take it completely and proudly so. And I'm proud of the people that we lead. So I don't know whether that is clear, Madam Chair, or whether I need to explain it.
Chair, just a point of information.
Yes.
CS, you can remember when I made my remark that what Kenyans are looking for is value for money. It's not pegged to auditing only. For example, you have sent 300 million to KEMSA. And there is so many people without masks. And the infection is going up. So then we are losing the value for money. That's why I asked in the first place, do you have a framework or monitoring and evaluation that ties what you give out to the outcomes? You see, this is not in black and white, but this is a responsibility endorsed on you as the leading person with all the technical people. Are interventions being reviewed so that you can say this is worth funding, this is not worth funding, this is working, this is not working. It's not, because we know if the Treasury really disburses, it's their responsibility to follow that. If money comes from you, it's your responsibility. But it is also your responsibility for the ministries of the Treasury money that has gone. That does it make difference in the national
Absolutely.
Fight for the COVID? So all these are in your plate.
I tell you, Mheshimiwa, through the chair, I think I have responded to that very clearly. I have made it very clear. We take responsibility for everything in our ministry. And as far as what you're talking about now is concerned, in terms of the formalities of the accounting procedures and so on, I also happen to have a true finance background. And I can confirm to you, we have got very clear procedures. We have got very clear finance and accounting procedures in terms of this is World Bank funding. We know the structures of the World Bank funding. This is Treasury funding. It is very clear that this is how the Treasury funds itself. It is very clear what our role in the whole matter is. And I agree with you. Money that is sent to us, particularly money that is directly allocated to the Ministry of Health, must be accounted by the Ministry of Health. And the ultimate, and the buck stops at my desk. And that's an acceptable position, completely. And if we don't take action, then it is us who will not have taken action. And sometimes when we take action, and people come and tell us, you are firing away my man, or you are firing away my cousin, and then we go back to square A. You know, these are some of the issues we face, but with responsibility. And we do so with clarity as well. There is no mandateness in terms of what is supposed to happen and what is not supposed to happen. So clarity we have. So if I hope I'm clear now, because what I would hate to do is to walk out of here and you say that he didn't quite answer that. Let me make it clear. We have got input. Input being the amount of money that we sent to this institution or the other institution. We expect those institutions to, one, if it is, for example, if it is to the counties, and we have given a conditional grant, we expect the institution to follow what we have said. We will also expect to get a report from them, which is going to inform our accounting, ourselves, as far as the treasury is concerned. And secondly, the instructions that we give are in accordance with the needs that are there in the country. You cannot go and say, you know, let us buy HIV medicine instead of malaria medicine when malaria is the issue, not HIV, or vice versa. So the need is what informs what we have ordered for purchase, and in fact, even what we are getting from donors. So, and I can tell you, Madam Chair, that the reason why these debates are going on currently is because we have done exactly that. We have unearthed ourselves. We are the ones who have unearthed some of the malpractices that might be going on and that are under investigation at the moment. But you know, sometimes, you know, if you go somewhere and you start an investigation with your own space, it is then assumed that it is somebody else who started the investigation and you're hiding something. We are the ones who are unearthing, not hiding.
Madam Chair, just a follow-up on what Waziri said and what Honorable Wino was driving at. It's about the masks. I know about 3 months ago, Honorable Waziri, we sat with you through a Zoom meeting as we're passing the COVID regulations. And one of the issues that we passed for you as a ministry is that anybody who does not wear a mask will be committing an offense. And of course, an offense has a consequence in terms of a fine. As you drive in Nairobi and out of Nairobi to the counties, so many people are not wearing masks. And the reason is, many of them cannot afford a meal. So is it...
The Cabinet Secretary for Health there, Mutahi Kagwe, appearing before the Parliamentary Committee on Health, saying some of the irregularities that have been highlighted in the media with regard to expenditure by the Ministry of Health, particularly with regard to the COVID-19 pandemic, have been unearthed by the ministry itself.